Hello, friends, colleagues, Americans, and those who are not Americans and perhaps listening to this message. My name is Richard Solomon, and I'm a retired teacher. And as an American and global citizen, there comes a time in one's life where one must stand up for righteousness and also stand up to be critical of evil. Today is such a day, and I'm sharing my remarks here because of how deeply disappointed I am in how Donald Trump disparaged the Khan family. And what I want to say to Donald Trump is simply that you should be ashamed of yourself for pitting Americans against Americans, and in particular, immigrants against those who live in the United States and are not new immigrants coming to this country. You have pitted not only immigrants against immigrants, but blacks against whites, inner city folks against the police, gays against straights, people in lower and middle classes against each other and against those in the upper class, people who live in rural areas from those who live in urban areas. You have tried to divide the American people, and you want to build walls between people in the United States, and you also want to build walls against allowing others to come into the United States. As a teacher and as a human being, I know the power of building bridges among people. You see, when I was a teacher, and I taught actually every grade from second to graduate school over many, many years, I learned from my students that if you create a classroom community where children can listen to each other, can listen to their thoughts, their feelings, their experiences, their assumptions, even their prejudices, we can overcome differences. Because when we create safe spaces where people listen to each other, people of diversity, we can build trust and we can come up with creative and new solutions to the problems that we are facing, irrespective of what those problems are. Now, I'm not simply speaking to you, Donald Trump, but I'm also speaking to Hillary Clinton, the Democrats, Republicans, independents who want to make America better. What I'm asking you to do is not simply create focus groups where people who are alike talk to you. I'm asking you to create safe spaces in your political institutions and other institutions where people who are different actually listen to each other and begin to understand each other and develop trust for each other so that the issues that are facing our country and global issues as well can be resolved. Now, I know that we have extremely difficult problems that we are facing in the United States and in the world. We have domestic terrorism, we have global terrorism, we have poverty, we have disease, we have income inequality, we have hunger. Many of these problems can be resolved with leaders who not divide us, but leaders who empower people to come together, to listen and to respect each other, to understand each other. And in those sacred spaces, those spaces of trust, those circles, whether they are in school or in political institutions or religious institutions or in the workplace, we can enable people who are so different from us because of their ethnicity, because of their class, because of their gender or sexual orientation, whether they live in rural communities or urban communities, whether they work in the mines of their mine owners. We can come together and creatively resolve our problems in this country and in other countries. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my point of view.